Hey, I've always been a massive advocate for exercise to improve your mental health and well-being, and also the amazing benefits of gratitude. And today I started with a glass of bubbles to toast Maggie. She was cremated this morning, and we're having a celebration of her life a little later in the year. But it's just so important to just listen to your instincts. And for me this morning, it was just about getting some vitamin D and the sunshine and exercising and just walking and reflecting on the beautiful moments that I had with Maggie and over the 11 years that I was blessed to know her. And the phenomenal thing is, on the day that Maggie passed, I was sharing a very, very special morning with my girlfriend Jodie. We were taking a lovely walk around Long Reef while the tide was out, and just exploring and just taking it all in. This amazing place on the northern beaches. And when we walked up the stairs to the headland to go toward the restaurant where we were going to spend lunch together, we walked past this native bush. In this native bush were just hundreds and hundreds of dragonflies. And for any of you that know me, the dragonfly represents my mum. And the reason why I say that is because when I was speaking at a profound event in Newcastle, goodness, would have been 9 or 10 years ago now. It was an event called Walk a Mile Koori style. And it's about raising awareness of domestic abuse, violence in the Indigenous communities. They acknowledge the deaths of a woman that died in domestic violence relationships by hanging a dress, which often was handmade, embroidered with beautiful lettering, names of the victims, and sometimes children too. And they hung on the tree at the top of St. Edward's Hill in Newcastle, and 1,000 men walked a mile. And it was like the sea of pink, because all the men wore pink shirts to make a pledge, I guess, that they would not abuse women in their community. And they walked to the top of St. Edward's Hill to these dresses, and there were ambassadors at the top of the hill that would hand 73 men individually one of the dresses that hung on the tree, and they would make a pledge at the top of the hill that they would respect women, and then they'd carry the dress down to the bottom of the hill. And it was an incredibly moving experience. And while this was happening, I'd gone and walked through the dresses and acknowledged all of the victims of domestic abuse or domestic violence. And while I was sitting there, and the Indigenous dancers from the local schools were singing and dancing, and these dresses were just blowing in the wind, and I was sitting there just reflecting while all of this was taking place. And this dragonfly just flew into the dresses that were hanging on the tree, and then turned and flew directly to me, and then turned back toward the dresses. And it was the most incredible experience. It was, I believe, my mum, represented as a dragonfly, just coming to acknowledge me, to send me love, to check on me, make sure that I was okay, and also to just say how proud she was of me and what I was doing to honour her in the community through sharing her story. And so I've got dragonfly tattoos. I've got the necklace which my beautiful daughter bought me, Jess. I've quite a few tattoos, dragonflies, and they're really special. So this particular day, last Friday, when I was walking up the stairs and toward this native bush with my girlfriend Jodie, there were hundreds of dragonflies, and I looked into this bush and just videoed all these beautiful dragonflies and said, "Hello, Mum." Little did I know that at that exact moment, Maggie had had a major heart attack. And it wasn't till the next morning that I found out. And that night, Jodie and I spent together. We had a lovely meal and just reflecting on how Maggie had impacted on my life. And we realised that in that moment, we were at this bush with these dragonflies, and I just feel like in some way Maggie was joining Mum and becoming a dragonfly, and that's how I'd like to remember and honour Maggie, that she is now joined with my mum. So that's just a little story that I wanted to share with you today while I'm walking. And it's definitely helping. Just talking about it is so healing, and exercising and getting vitamin D, and just taking a moment to appreciate these beautiful flowers around me in spring.